right, welcome to the post-Thanksgiving edition of the Fragments of Silicon Reviews. Hopefully, you all had a good holiday, whoever might be listening to this. I mean, my holiday was good. I'm not sure about my colleagues here, but I'm presuming they had good times, at least tolerable times.
Mine was fine. I decided not to actually go to the family thing, just because we're doing the big family thing, just because we're doing Christmas in 2 weeks with the same people. So,
well, we can talk all about that on Wednesday.
Yep.
We have games to review, though I will say that our first entry this week, it's one of those games that stretches the definition of game, as in, it's not really a game per se. It's more of an interactive experience. But it's more game than walking simulator, but not much if you are trying to measure it by traditional gaming standards.
I mean, this selling point blurb here, where you can only say no or nothing at all, your choice is controlled, is kind of Stanley Parable-ish to me.
I'm like, I don't think this. It's okay. Negative Nancy here. I really would not compare to the Stanley Parable, if only because, okay, like your control options are just that. It's more closer to the point and click than.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's because the title Negative Nancy is quite literal. You play a store clerk named Nancy, and you are quite negative. As in, it mentions the only actions you can do is say no. It's no or silence. And that dichotomy guides you through the 4 adventures on display here. And it's a whole bunch of absurdist, like, surreality. It's quite Adult Swimish, if I'm being honest, and its randomness at times. Like the first episode, not the first episode canonically, but like the first one ever made is actually the last one in this. Like The Perfect Day, which was apparently a YouTube thing beforehand. It's the DVD case they got for that is like it's the remastered edition or something like that. And it is different in the other ones in the sense that it's much more traditional, I'd say, in its branching forks. That is the first 3 episodes. They have a whole bunch of different outcomes, and your goal is to get a whole bunch of mementos or tokens. Like the first one has like 13, the second one has 11. The last one has none. It's more trying to get the perfect day, which I did not. But structurally, it's all pretty similar. Anyway, getting back, the first episode, you're dealing with customers. I'm trying to remember. I think the laptop is a toaster oven or whatever was in the second episode. But at one point, a fucking rabid possum gets unleashed into the store, and you have to deal with that or not.
I know, that sounds like something to say no about, even if it's like, no, there's a possum in the store.
Though, as it turns out, the ending to that was getting mauled by a truckload of possums. Like I said, it gets wacky, and darkly comedic, with like elements of very exaggerated reality. That being said, it does have some commentary about retail, as you'd expect. And let's see. As far as what I think about this, so as a piece of interactive fiction, it's certainly interesting, unique, I'd say, in the sense that I've seen stuff like this, but nothing like this particular thing. Having a node simulator on hand, points for originality, if nothing else. My problem is, well, the pricing. It clocks in at $15, $14.99. It is on sale because at time of recording, the autumn sale is going on here, and it's still at $11.99. There's also the soundtrack at $7.99. The music of was all right. Definitely not something I'd pay $8 for. The soundtrack, geez, $22.98, $16.98. Basically, all this is too expensive. This is not worth $12 or $15. This is something I would have paid at max $5. As a series of 4 episodes that you could get through in at most 2 hours. And I get that the actual point is to play through these over and over again to get the various branching paths. I didn't feel that compelled to do that. Like I said, just baseline a half an hour per episode, I don't think justified $15. It's a bit of a shame because what is there is pretty good. It's just I don't think it justifies its price point. Anyway, and yeah, like I said, there's actually not much to this in terms of structure. It's all about like the characters and the interactions and the comedy and all that jazz. Let's see, any questions about the game?
I was going to make a joke about your feelings about it being negative, but it sounds like they're not, except towards the price.
Yeah, but like I said, this is one of the more interesting, interactive adventure, whatever we want to call these things these days. I like the idea. I like the execution. I don't like the lack of content. And I know this kind of stuff is subjective, but we always take the price point into account when we review these things because people's money is on the line, and I don't think the money is worth it in this case. So pick it up on a deep sale. Like if you see this going for $7, $5, something like that, then I would say it's something you should experience. Outside of that, nah. I'm like, I don't think there's enough meat on the bones. Anyway, so yeah, that'll about do it for Negative Nancy here. Be sure to tune in after the break as the Golics will be reviewing. Okay, it's got 2 names here, but we're going with Aldred Knight. Aldred Knight of Honor is its other name. Anyway,